Good evening, CLC. I'm Naomi Fada. Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. So today I'm just going to read a passage from Romans 12. I know I was actually also in, I said Romans, Hebrews 12. Hebrews 12, and I was also in this chapter later on. Last week I was in towards the end of the chapter, but today I was just reminded of the first couple of verses that really stood out to me this week. And it says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses, to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up. And let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne. I was thinking to myself, how often do we get, weary, or things in life, seem to tear us down. We get, maybe there's fear, maybe there's distraction, maybe there's disappointment. And what do we do with all of that? And here the reminder is, don't become weary. Just keep running the race. Fix our eyes on Jesus and on the end result, on the end goal, because when Jesus was on the cross, think of how hard that must have been. Not that we can really understand or put ourselves in his place, but it says when he was on the cross, right, he endured it because he knew what was coming. He knew that this was for the Father's glory. He knew this was so that we could be saved, and for that he endured. And whatever it is that we are going through, when we have a really clear, as clear as can be, understanding of the end goal, that even when we see him, when we get to heaven, we're going to be like him. So this process of transformation, and that's from 1 John 3 verse 2. But this, his purpose in us is to transform us and to be the likeness of Christ. And his purpose isn't necessarily that we have an easy life, that everything goes smoothly, or that we have everything that we want. All of these things that we see as temporary are not the eternal. And so when it says fix your eyes, in the midst of something that's hard or challenging, remembering to keep our gaze fixed on him and on his purpose, that the world is not our home. We're just on our way to eternal life, which is with him forever. And it gives a different perspective of the days that we live here, and even the focus of our frustration. And if you can spend enough time to just quiet your heart and ask him to give you a greater vision of what he's doing in your life for his glory, then it makes it a whole lot easier to fix your gaze and keep running that race. Don't give up. This is the race of life. And he says, just fix your gaze. And again, another passage that I'm reminded of is in Galatians, which is, don't grow weary in doing good, for in due time you'll reap what you sow. And so those are just a couple of thoughts that I have for you today. God bless you, and hope you have an amazing week. Be sure to check us out in person at 20 West Main Street in Catskill, meeting at 10:30 on Sunday mornings. We'd love to see you there.